Hi guys, it's Friday, it's 1 o'clock, hope everyone is well. It's my lunchtime live. So guys, thank you very much for joining me. Those of you that are coming into the room, fantastic. Thank you so much for out today. If you don't get a chance to watch all of today's lunchtime live, then that is perfectly fine. Of course, all you can do is watch it on replay, or alternatively, you can catch up on my YouTube channel. So you're welcome to catch up on YouTube as well. So all of my lives will go out onto my YouTube channel over the next 24 hours. So do keep an eye out and subscribe. Click the bell for notifications. So guys, so today I'm talking about the Facebook algorithm. When you come into the room, guys, feel free to come and say hello. Feel free to drop in a message, just to say hi, tell us sort of who you are, where you're from, what you're up to. So you're welcome to do that. Give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to switch my sound, so hopefully you can hear me a little bit better now, guys. Yeah, brilliant. So thanks very much for joining me today, guys, and please feel free to drop in a hi in the comments. Feel free to give me a mention. Feel free to come and tell me what business sector you're in. It's always good to get engagements from you. So today I want to talk about the Facebook algorithm. I want to talk about how it works. I want to talk about how you can work with the Facebook algorithm too. So really important. A lot of people ask me about the number of posts that they put out and the reach figures they get, and they're seeing that the reach figures are low and what they can do to try and increase those reach figures. I think the first thing we need to do is get a sound understanding of what the Facebook algorithm actually is. So just as a reminder, if you're coming in, guys, feel free, come and say hello, come and join me, and come and tell me what business you're in, tell me what industry you're in. So I have got a question that I'm going to ask. So I'm going to post out the question. So I'm going to open it here into the Facebook Live. So as you can probably see behind me, here I've got a blank shelf at the moment. So we've had some decorating over the last decorators in over the last couple of weeks, and I've still not put anything back on my shelf. So I thought I'd ask the question to you guys that follow me. I just wanted to see kind of like what I should put on my shelf. At the moment, you can see that I've got my coffee pot on there, and I've also got one of Flo's little toys on there as well. She was playing with it the other day, and I thought, you know what, I'll get it out of the way because it was right in the middle of a call that I was on. So I thought I'll put it up on the shelf out the way so she can't see it. Now, before she jumped on the shelf and she was on a live with her sitting on the shelf, so that was very funny. But anyway, back to the subject today, guys. So today I'm talking about the Facebook algorithm. So firstly, what I'd like to do is talk a little bit more about what the algorithm is. Now we know that an algorithm is a number of calculations that is used to determine a factor of something. Now what I want to kind of talk about is the Facebook algorithm and what it actually is for you. So I want to give you an example. I want to kind of work you through a process today of looking at what the algorithm is, why you should even worry about the Facebook algorithm, how it works, and I want to talk about some top tips of things that you can do as well. Now, one of the key things with the Facebook algorithm compared to, let's say, Twitter. Now, Twitter is a real-time feed, so that means that posts will come in a chronological order. Now, when you post something at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you'll see it'll appear at 4 o'clock in the order on a Twitter feed. Now, Facebook used to be like that for business pages, but it changed many years ago, and the algorithm was introduced to actually determine which posts appear on which feeds. Now, if you think about the average person having 700 friends on Facebook, and the average person will be following probably around about 700 pages on Facebook, along with groups that they may have, you can see that the competition is fierce for a business owner and a business page. So that's why it's important to get a good sound understanding of what the Facebook algorithm is. Okay, and then you can actually start to see how you can work with it. So we know that when you post something on Facebook, it doesn't always appear. Quite a lot of people will say to me that I've got like 1,000 people that follow my page, but my posts are only reaching kind of 100 of those people or 200 people. Now that figure is a reach figure, and that figure is really important to work with. It's one of the most important metrics. It's probably more important than the number of people that follow your page or like your page. So what you find is that the vanity figure of the people that like your page is not the way to measure success on social media, and especially on Facebook as well. So what I mean by that is that you could look at your Facebook page and say, fantastic, I've got 500 people that follow my page, and not worry about the reach figure. And if you do that, you're not actually thinking about how you can try and increase the awareness of your brand or your business page or even your business in general. Now, for many businesses that solely rely on social media to drive traffic into their website or to drive sales, then this is a really important lunchtime live for you. So if you are watching me on replay, feel free to comment, feel free to add any comments, come and say hi. If you are with me now, then you're welcome again to drop in any comments that you might have for me. So let's just have a look at the Facebook algorithm. And so we know the algorithm is a set of calculations. What it does, it looks at the user's interface. So what it does, it looks at what the user is actually engaging with. So I'll give you an example. So I'm a Tottenham Hotspur fan. I've even got my Tottenham tattoo, so I'm branded. So I hope that doesn't hold that against anybody else that supports any particular football team. So I'm interested in Tottenham Hotspur, so I will follow relevant pages and engage with relevant pages that are relating to Tottenham Hotspur. Now what that means is that Facebook knows that information about me. It knows that I'm interested in Tottenham, it knows that I'm interested in football, and therefore it will actually start to show me more relevant content regarding the things that I am interested in. So if you are a beauty company and you're trying to appeal to a particular demographic, then you know that that demographic are likely to be interested in beauty products or beauty treatments. And if that's the case, then you need to think about the content you're putting out. So I'm going to talk a bit more in a few minutes about kind of the content that you have. So if you are just joining me, you may have missed at the very beginning, guys, that today's lunchtime live is talking about the Facebook algorithm. It's talking about what it is, how you can work with it, why you should worry about it, and also some top tips as well. So more importantly, hey, I've got a question for you. You can see it on the live now. What should I put on my shelf behind me? Sorry, it's that way. I forgot that my screen was flipped, so it's behind me up here. And I had the decorators in. I used to have some little toys up there. I had some books. So feel free to comment, guys, if you want to tell me what I should put on there. 10 points for anyone that says the cat. That'd be brilliant. So the Facebook algorithm, then it's important to look at what Facebook is determining. So that means that Facebook will look at the user and say, okay, we're going to show this content to the people that we feel is engaging the most or actually interested in the post that you're putting out and the content that you're putting out. So it's important to straight away have a look at the relevancy of the content that you are using on Facebook. Now, another thing to bear in mind is that, let's just say, for example, I'm interested in a particular product, then I will spend time looking at those products actually on social media and on Facebook. And if that is the case, then Facebook will show me more relevance. Now, if you're posting onto your business page, it used to be around about 10% of your followers will see your posts. So your reach figure would be about 10%. Now, over the last couple of years, that number has gone down and gone down and down. Okay, and it has been frustrating for a lot of business owners who are Facebook, and also for a lot of marketeers or marketing agencies as well, because organic reach is really, really tough. And one of the reasons for that is, well, there's two things to bear in mind there. The first thing is there's over 90 million local business pages on Facebook. So think about your particular area. How many Facebook pages are there in your area that are competing with you? And if you can think of that and look at the number of people that are actually you're competing with, then you'll understand straight away that you need to be doing something that's more interesting for your followers. So I will talk about some tips, so stick around, guys. There are a couple of tips to bear in mind. I can see that Steve has said that I should definitely put Flo up there. 100%, Steve. You never know, she might jump on there during the live. I really hope she does, because that would be pretty funny. But anyway, so why should we care about the Facebook algorithm? Well, I think I've just kind of covered that on the basis of, if you're a business owner and you have a Facebook page, then it's important to understand some of the principles behind the Facebook algorithm. And why should you care about it? Well, it actually plays a really big part. I mentioned a second ago there were two things to consider. The first one is looking at your competition. The second thing as well is that Facebook is a very very big business. Okay, it's a very very profitable business. Therefore, people will actually look at boosting content on their page, and what that means is actually paying Facebook for your posts to be seen by more people. So there's something that I help with a lot of clients is Facebook ads and also boosting posts. It's a part of one of the services that I offer. And that means that you can actually pay Facebook to put your posts in front of a demographic that you select. And I've done many Facebook Lives and training events where I'm talking about Facebook ads. So feel free, guys, to go and check out my YouTube channel and have a look at my YouTube and just try and see if you can find the perfect kind of video there that will talk you through Facebook ads or Facebook boosts, because that will give you a good understanding as well. So I'm not going to go into too much detail today. So it's important to understand that the Facebook algorithm exists. If you ignore the Facebook algorithm, then just bear in mind, what are you really expecting to achieve? It's good to have a good sound understanding of it going forward. Now, I've talked about the number of businesses, your competition. You have to do something that stands out. You have to do something that is really going to make your content more engaging. The Facebook algorithm is kind of, it works by the user behavior. So I mentioned before about me being a Tottenham Hotspur supporter and showing relevant content to what I'm looking for. If somebody is particularly engaged in certain types of posts, then Facebook will show your post to those people. If they follow your page, even more so. So bear in mind that if you've got, let's say, 100 people that follow your page, then not all of those 100 people are going to be actively engaged on Facebook. So bear that in mind, that you're not going to always reach necessarily those 100 people. Now, when you start to get engagements on Facebook, what happens is very, very quickly your reach figures start to go up. So with one of my clients, OmniDogs, who is a fantastic client, they really are. They've got lots of fresh content, lots of events that they run. And yesterday they had a post that they wanted me to post out for them. I posted it out and asked people to engage with the post, and it reached something like 600 people within 24 hours. Now that is absolutely fantastic from an organic perspective. That is absolutely fantastic. Now, they could very easily have boosted the post and reached 1,000 people and spent some more money, but actually sometimes you don't always need to be boosting posts. You don't always need to be spending money with Facebook. You can do it organically, but it is a little bit harder. I've got some top tips coming, guys, very, very soon. So don't go away, stick around just for the next 15 minutes or so, and I'll go through those with you. So Facebook will show posts to people that have more of an interest in that post or more relevance. I mentioned earlier on that it used to be like 10% of your followers that see your post. It's actually gone down, guys, okay? It's actually gone down a long way. Now, there is a disclaimer that I'd like to put out for you now and say that I do not know exactly how the Facebook algorithm works. And what I mean by that is you might think, well, hold on, how is it you're doing a Facebook Live talking about it? Now, what I'm trying to say to you is that only a select few people will know the actual algorithm that works. If you've got any marketing companies out there that say that they know exactly how it works, do not believe them. Okay, it's a little bit like the KFC recipe. Okay, it's something that's kept under lock and key. Why would they release the most important factor about their business? So what I will say to you is that what I do know is how to work with that Facebook algorithm, and what I do with my clients is really, really simple. One of the most important things to bear in mind is that you need to be looking at engaging content that people are going to be interested in. Promoting events, which is absolutely fantastic. Promoting live videos is great, and they're just two of my top tips that are coming very, very shortly. Hi Tosh, thanks very much for joining me today on my lunchtime live. It's fantastic. Tosh does a lunchtime law, which is every Wednesday at midday, so feel free to head over to Astute Law and go and follow Tosh. He does some fantastic content and does a lot of webinar work, a lot of content going out, a lot of video content going out, so his face is everywhere, which is even better. So I've talked a little bit about what the Facebook algorithm is. I've talked a little bit about why you should sort of understand it, why it's important for you. I've talked about how it works as well. If you've got any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. Even if you are watching this on replay, feel free to add a comment because I will come back to you at the earliest opportunity. So I want to now move on to some tips, guys. I want to talk to you about some things to do, with your Facebook posts. And also I want to talk to you about, very, very importantly, things to avoid doing as well. Okay, because it's really important to understand what it is that you can do that can actually have an adverse effect on your Facebook engagement. So bear with me, guys, while I just take a sip of my coffee. Got myself a new little bamboo mug this week, nice, and a little bright banner so I can see it on my desk so I don't knock it over. Had a bit of a coffee spill incident very recently, which was one of those moments where it kind of hit the desk and I tried to pick everything up of value in front of it before it got soaked. Anyway, so hi Joanne, thanks for joining me today. Lovely to see you. Like I said, if you're just joining, feel free to answer my question, guys. I've got a question here. What should I put on my shelf back here? I'm just in the process of redecorating my office and putting things back in place, but I'm not putting everything back, so I'm going to make sure that I've got a clear space, clear mind. I've got my whiteboards up here, I've got everything that I need. It's just this shelf that I need to fill, and I'm not sure what to put on there. So feel free to comment, guys. Just drop it in the comments. It'd be lovely to get your thoughts. So I'm talking about 3 key things to avoid that are going to affect the Facebook algorithm. So really what I'm saying is 3 things not to do. Okay, the first one is text only posts. Okay, what you'll find is that I'm saying text only posts all the time. Use engaging imagery to help get people to understand what your content is about. That is why I encourage my clients to use relevant, interesting imagery. Content is really, really good, but you need the engaging creative as well with it to make it really work. So it's a real good, happy marriage of good content, good call to action, and good creative as well. Don't repeat content. Don't keep posting the same thing on a regular basis. Now, with a lot of my clients I work with, I talk about keeping things fresh, keeping things interesting, pulling different articles, taking different parts of your website apart and trying to promote those as well. Now, that's something that is really important. Do not post repeated content. A few years ago, there was a company that I started working with, and on their Facebook page, they literally posted the same thing every Friday morning, and it was the same post that went out. And they started to do that on a regular basis, and every day they had the same post going out, just a week apart. So what they'd obviously done is use some scheduling software and posted it straight in, and it was just going out again and again. Now, Facebook doesn't like that because it's repeated content, so that is one thing to avoid. Another top tip for you as well for things to avoid doing is posting content with links that go to very kind of spam like websites. What happens when you post on Facebook will actually read the post very, very quickly. It has robots that go in and read the content. They follow the link that you're sharing, and what they're trying to make sure is there is nothing on there offensive, nothing that's going to break the guidelines that Facebook sets out. And what happens is Facebook will read that. If it goes through to a website and there's lots of spammy links with lots of adverts on it, then there's a very, very good chance that Facebook's going to downgrade the value of that post. So what we're talking about today, guys, is the Facebook algorithm and how to really kind of increase your post value. Maybe that's what I should have included in my title as well, about the value of your post. Facebook will judge how good a quality your post is, and that will help determine exactly how it's ranked on the Facebook feed. Now, if you go to your Facebook feed, do me a favor sometime, scroll down it, okay, and you may follow 500 pages on Facebook. Keep scrolling down, and there's a very good chance that you're not going to come across quite a few pages, okay, but I've got a really good tip to help you with something in a few seconds, so stick around, okay, it's definitely worth it. So what am I saying that you should be doing to help you with the Facebook algorithm? It's all very well me creating a live event and talking about kind of the Facebook algorithm, but I want to also talk about things that you should do that are going to help you. So one of the top tips is engaging with the comments. Now, I did this yesterday with my client OmniDogs. I went into the post, looked at the comments, started engaging with those people. That was really, really good. And what was really interesting was that it was great to see that people were engaging with each other. Don't forget, social media is about 2 entities connecting with each other. And those two entities, one of them may be yourself and one of them may be your next customer. Okay, so just bear in mind that you are appealing to people because your business is all about sales and marketing. Mike Yates from One to One Business Limited, he said that at the Riverport Business Networking Group about 5 or 6 weeks ago, and it stuck in my head that your business is all about sales and marketing, whether you like it or not, or whether you know it or not. So bear that in mind, that if you want people to engage with you, try to get them to engage with each other. And I saw it yesterday on the OmniDogs post. Go and follow the page, guys, and have a little look at what was happening. People were starting to tag other people. Absolutely amazing. And when people do that, what happens is there's a ricochet effect in Facebook. So the ricochet effect will actually start to share the content out to more people that are interested in that particular subject. So for them, it's dog training, dog obediency, hydrotherapy for dogs. So people with dogs, people that follow dog related pages, people that post photos of their dogs or photos of their cats, a bit like me, people that are engaging with dog related businesses and posts. That is the target audience for them, and that is what is happening. People are starting to engage with each other. So it was absolutely fantastic to see that. I want to also talk to you about people. You tend to ask people to like the post. People will sometimes say like the post or click a like or to find out more. That's a bit of kind of a bit spammy. Okay, it's not really kind of helping your algorithm. What I would say is that you need to be thinking about something a little bit different. So as you would have seen over the last kind of, I'd say 18 months, Facebook has changed the thing that you can like, love a post. You can add different reactions. Okay, so the reaction emoji is a good thing to use and encourage people to do as well. So you can ask people perhaps to, tell us how you feel about this post with the reaction below. People know what reactions are now. People are starting to understand that it's not just about liking the post. You can do a little bit more. Okay, so that's really, really important. Another top tip is actually going live on Facebook. Okay, going live on Facebook is fantastic for your brand awareness. It helps your brand to grow. It helps the Facebook algorithm because more people that are interested in social media, Facebook, they're a business owner, they may be an admin on a Facebook page. Really, really important to kind of go live on Facebook, and it shows a lot of relevance as well. So people will start to get notified to say Simon Clark has now gone live on Facebook. Come and follow him, come and watch his content, like his page, and it'll encourage you to interact with me a little bit more. So that's why sometimes if you share this live, then a lot of your friends that are interested in business, social media, marketing, digital marketing, Facebook posting, for example, they're going to get to see this because Facebook knows everything about everyone. Okay, it's a part of what they do. There's an understanding element behind Facebook's algorithm that knows exactly the sort of things that I like, the sort of things I look at, the videos that I watch. Now there is another top tip as well. You can encourage your fans to include your page on their favorites list. Okay, really, really good tip this. Okay, each person, each user on Facebook has the opportunity to follow 30 pages and add them to the favorites list. So what that means is that will say to Facebook that they are looking to favor that content on the feed. So the likelihood is that your post will appear higher up on the timeline, on the news feed. So therefore that user will see your posts first. Okay, it's like a see first engagement. It used to be called that, see first. I think there is still a part of that in Facebook that says that you'll get to see these posts first. That means it comes to the top. So if you are a business owner and you have real kind of important up-to-the-date news information that needs to go out through your social media, encourage people to not only follow your page, like your page and follow your page. A lot of people say that, but also add it to the favorites list as well. It's something that I've done over time and people have naturally done. In fact, I know 3 or 4 people that have said to me they've already added me to favorites because they want to see what I'm posting out and they want to see my content first as well. So the other top tip as well is to put yourself in the user's position. So put yourself in the shoes of that user. think to yourself with the content. What content are you posting? What is it interesting? How are they going to engage with it? How are they going to react to it? So that's a really, really good top tip. So do kind of put yourself in their position and say, what would I do, to engage with this post? What's it going to take for me to engage with you? Am I going to like this post? With a lot of my clients and my team, we're working with, I try to encourage them to kind of look at this situation and say, okay, what is the benefit of posting this? So what are we likely to achieve from this? What are we trying to achieve? Are we trying to get people to click on a link? Are we trying to get them to engage? I mean, in a lot of the posts, we will ask questions and say, guys, add a comment in here, add a like in here, add a comment here. Because what we're trying to do, we're trying to get engagements. We're trying to get people to connect with the post, connect with the page, and start to trigger that algorithm as well. There was something I read a little while back that said that you've got something like 20-30 minutes, or when the post goes live, to start picking up engagements to then trigger the algorithm. Again, this is one of the problems with social media, is that everybody's got an opinion in social media. As we know, everybody has a viewpoint on exactly what works for them, or what they see working out there. So it's really important, guys, get as much content information as possible, but also actually do it and actually start to measure and look at the results and look at your reach figures on Facebook. Another top tip for you is to be informative. Okay, and when I say informative, give people content that they're going to look at and say, do you know what, this is interesting, this is great, this is relevant, this is what I need. Give people something. With a live video like this, I'm giving you my advice, I'm giving you my time, I'm giving you my guidance, giving you my support as well, and you can engage with this, and you can take some of this content away, and you can use this going forward in your social media to help you grow your business on Facebook or other social media platforms. Now, I must say at this point is that Facebook is forever changing. Facebook's algorithm forever changing. It's hard sometimes to keep up to date with it. Quite often Facebook will release something new and it'll only go out to a certain number of pages. And I even had a client recently say, have you seen this new feature? And it's because it hadn't landed on my page yet, but it had on his. And that's just purely because of the way that Facebook selects pages for whatever reason. It does it by random, I think, in my opinion. So, guys, perfect opportunity. If you're unsure about anything about the Facebook algorithm, then feel free to ask me a question in here. The question really is, a lot of people come to me and say, look, Simon, I've got 500 people that follow my page, but my posts are only reaching like 100 people. And the idea behind that is that the Facebook algorithm determines the number of people that your posts are reaching. One of the key metrics to look at when you go to the Insights tab is to look at your engagement levels, look at your Facebook reach levels. If they are gradually going up and you're seeing the green ticks, the green arrows that say that the figures are going up month on month or week on week, then that is really, really positive. That means that you're sharing good content and you're actually getting some real good value out of the content that you're posting. So because Facebook is forever changing, things like these live events that I talk about, there's always going to be updates. If you at some point have any questions or you're not sure about something, then you're welcome to get in touch with me. The other key thing as well is that when you do videos, they tend to be more engaging. For those of you out there that have done videos in the past, or those of you who watch my videos and you engage with my videos, then absolutely brilliant, because video content, people will stop on their timeline when they're scrolling through. Okay, they'll stop, and when they look at it, they'll realize, they'll engage with it and realize that they're interested. That is triggering the Facebook algorithm. If one person stops to watch a video, then that's fantastic. If they watch the whole video, then that will tell Facebook users that this content is interesting and start to share that video to other people. So it's all about making sure that your content is engaging, your content is interesting, your content is relevant, and you are consistent as well. I talk about my 7 posts in 7 day strategy, and what you find is that it works. If you do it, it works, but you've got to do it, guys. Okay, you can't just post once, see what happens, and then leave it. Okay, you need to be doing it on a regular basis. Now, if you are finding that you've got some really good content that you want to share out and you want to get more people to engage with it, then you can click on that good old boost button on Facebook. Do not see the cost of that as a cost, the price of that as a cost, I should say. If Facebook says boost it and you put £25 into a boost, don't look at that and say, well, that's cost me £25. Okay, because you can't do that, because you can't actually say, you can't attribute that as a cost until you've measured the actual measured the success of it. Okay, I've had a few clients recently I've done some Facebook ads for, and they've generated leads, and what they've done, they've generated sales from those leads. So you look at it and say, if I put £25 into Facebook and I boost the post and it goes out and I get 3 sales for it, and each sale is worth £100, for example, then £25 has helped me generate £300. Okay, that is not a cost. Okay, that is 100% investment. What I would say to you is, now times that by 10 and add £250 in there, and see if you can generate £3,000 worth of revenue. It's a numbers game at the end of the day. So again, think of that as an opportunity, but sometimes it doesn't work, and sometimes you need to keep doing it and keep testing new things as well. So today I've been talking about the Facebook algorithm. I've been talking about kind of how it works. I've talked about what it is, how it works, how to work with it. I've given you some top tips. So really, guys, if you are interested to find out a little bit more, make sure you head over to my website, simonclark.me. I'll pop it into the comments here, so you guys can click on the link and you can welcome to follow my page, my website. And when you do that, guys, you can go straight through and subscribe to get regular updates. This lunchtime live will be posted out onto YouTube very, very shortly. So if you wanted to go and watch it on YouTube, then click on the little bell, follow me, subscribe on YouTube, click on the bell, and then when a new video goes live, it'll go straight out into your notifications, and it'll ping up on your phone or your iPad or whatever device you're using. So before I go, guys, I want to talk about the schedule for my events that I've got coming up. So next week's event is a really, really good one. So join me next Friday at 1 o'clock. I'm going to be talking about how to avoid having a ghost town social media account. Okay, what I mean by that is when you've got a Facebook page or a social media account in particular that hasn't had a post on it for some time, I'm going to give away some top tips in how to avoid that. Okay, and then also I've got another one on the 4th of June, which is talking about which social media platform is ideal for your business. And the reason I'm doing that is because often I get asked from people saying, well, is Facebook the right platform for me? Should I be using Instagram? Should I be using LinkedIn? How can I use them? So I'm going to go through some case studies, some examples of which platforms work well, which demographics work well too. If you've got an idea and you want me to cover a particular topic, feel free to add it in the comments. Okay, you're welcome to reach out to me, drop me a message, private message. Alternatively, head over to simonclark.me and drop me a message through the website. So guys, I hope you've really enjoyed today's lunchtime live. I've enjoyed it as well. I know with my lunchtime lives that a lot of people watch these on replays over the weekends. So if you do have a question and you have watched it till this far, firstly, thank you very much. I appreciate your time. And secondly, if you've got a question, feel free to drop it into the comments and I will get back to you at the earliest opportunity. So guys, I hope everyone stays safe. Hope you have a fantastic weekend, whatever you got planned. And don't forget, guys, tell me what I should put on the shelf and I'll see if I can do something for next week. Take care, guys, and I'll see you soon.